Okay, hello. This is not my daily blog anymore. I'm not doing them every day. It's too many. So this is my occasional blog. Today we are talking about the Blue Energy Healing Circuit at Chequers, where the British Prime Minister lives, or his countryside estate home for rest and recuperation. And we're talking about the Blue Energy Chalice sacred site there. There's pictures of this. I put a link below. You can see pictures of the chalice at Chequers. And the webinar we'll be doing this Sunday. That's all on my website. And there's a link below. We had a fantastic webinar with this on Sunday. And we'll be moving on from that. And this Sunday coming, that was last Sunday, this Sunday coming, we will be having that webinar again. But the difference is it's the Saturn Pluto conjunction. So I'm going to talk about the webinar and also about that major conjunction, start of a new era. So the webinar last Sunday, amazing. I mean, just amazing. Blew my head right off. Lots of people contacting me afterwards with different amazing things happening to them. So it's a really, really good webinar. It's the first one. I really wanted to check out how it goes, because sometimes with me, it can just feel amazing. And then I try and teach it, and for one reason or another, people aren't quite in synchronicity with it. But this time it just went off like a firecracker. It was brilliant. And we work with the kidneys, the adrenals, the bladder, and the penis vagina. And in our anatomy, these make the shape of a chalice. Got the kidneys or the adrenals up here, then the kidneys, then the bladder, then the penis vagina. It makes a shape of a chalice. In us, it's one of the chalices inside of us, and that is a prominent chalice at Chequers. It's shown in the maps I show, and in the kind of anatomy of the landscape there. Beautiful blue energy chalice. There's also a fire circuit chalice, and the fire circuit chalice in us is a similar chalice in our anatomy, and it is for the men and women, but it makes a better chalice with the women. It's the ovaries in the cup of the chalice coming down into the uterus, which completes the chalice. It's a chalice shape with ovaries coming up to the kind of rim of the chalice, and then dropping down into the penis vagina makes the stem of the chalice. And these two chalices interact. The fire circuit chalice, the ovaries, testes, uterus, prostate, vagina, penis, that chalice in the men and in the women relates to adrenals, kidneys, bladder, and penis vagina. The penis vagina is in both circuits. It's part of both circuits, but it's mainly part of the blue energy circuit. And the fire circuit uses that. Also, obviously, it's connected to and part of the energies of the sexual organs, but the top half of the sexual organs, the fire circuit, dropping down into the penis vagina, which is more the blue energy circuit. So we're going to be working with the blue energy circuit this Sunday, how it works. And it's very much to do with transformation, and very much to do with this transformation that we're going through on Sunday. This blue energy circuit, you will see from the pictures. I put a picture of the, I don't know what it's called, the sign for Pluto, the image for Pluto is a chalice. It's a blue energy chalice and looks just like the chalice at Chequers. So there's a picture of both of those together, and we're going to be working with them together. But this conjunction we are going through, we're just coming up to this Sunday, but it's been building for a long time. The last time we had, I'm just going to straighten up my microphone. The last time we had this conjunction was 40 years ago, around 81, 82 time. And so both these planets have a long cycle. And for the last 3 years, this has been building. And it's quite similar to Brexit for England. I mean, this chalice is at checkers. So it's related to that in a way, what is happening in England. And no matter which camp you're in, we've had 3 years of stuckness, which is very much like Saturn and Pluto rubbing up against each other all the time. And you can't just move through it quickly and aha, it's done. These are slow planets. It just grinds its way through. And now, for the first time and the last time, it's just going to go straight through. They're perfectly conjunct. At the same time, we're moving into Brexit. But in the scheme of things and in the planets, it's been done. We have moved from a part of stuckness to now it's kind of gone through that and we're going through it forward. So it is prevalent at checkers and does fit with the astrology of that. And in us, it's to do with long-standing, slow-moving karma, karmic patterns. And with this circuit, the blue energy circuit, the kidneys are to do with that initial energy that arrives with us when we're born and comes from our parents and our ancestors and the universe, and is that initial first energy that arrives in us. And then that goes off. It goes off to the lungs, or it goes off to the brain, or to the heart, or to the pelvis, or to the arms and legs. Becomes different energies, but it is the primary source. So when we're working with the kidneys, we are working with that primary energy and anything that may be getting in the way of that. I mean, and especially around past lives, because it is coming from our ancestry, especially with early childhood things, because we've got this energy coming through, and then issues with our parents, our grandparents, aunts, and everyone around. We can close off a bit to that energy. Oh, I don't like my parents. That's like, I'm not going to receive that energy. I don't want to be like that. Doesn't mean you have to be like that, but it doesn't mean you have to not let that initial birthright energy for your health and everything come through. So we have got that original energy there. And I'm going to talk a bit about how we can clear these karmic blocks energetically in this group that we're doing on Sunday. We're going to move on to that. I'm going to describe the energies first. And then in this circuit, we've got the penis vagina, our initial sexual energy and potency and drive. It's a very strong energy from grounding to the earth, but also for rising up through our body. And it's also obviously an energy used for promoting the ongoing human race. That energy draws us towards someone of the opposite sex, or maybe even the same sex, but it draws people into sexual union. But also, that energy can rise in your body, and it can rise up through this circuit, healing this whole circuit, or up through the whole body, rising in vibration as it does, leading to enlightenment when it's rising out through the top of the head. So we got the primary energy arriving as we got the primary sexual energy and impulse, strength, grounding, vitality, health in that circuit. We've got the adrenals. Most people, a lot of people's adrenals are completely burnt out. I mean, I had Lyme disease for a long, long time. Mine was so wasted, I could barely move. I've cleared this circuit, worked on it so much to heal myself of Lyme disease. And it also relates to the whole nervous system and brain to clear that, and the myelin sheath. So we work with all of that in holographic breathing. We're working with that in this webinar. Hello to whoever that person is who's listening to me. Thank you for listening. So we've got all of that. I'm not sure what the sound is like, by the way, because my mic got a bit broken. I've really had to turn the sound up to get it to work. It might be peaking out a bit, so I'm sorry if I am. So there's that, and then the bladder is the heart for this circuit, much to do with empathy, but it's where we build up a lot of stress. Empathically, healers build up a lot of stress in the bladder. And then this also closes down this circuit and ends up in chronic fatigue type syndromes and MS and things like that, all these things. So we're working on that. Now, what happens in this circuit is it makes a chalice. And it is a lot to do. All of these organs, you know, the penis, vagina is obviously sexual, but all of these organs, especially the kidneys, adrenals, well, all of them are different levels of our sexuality and govern our sexuality. So things that have affected our sexuality affect this circuit and this chalice. And people can, it can happen through trauma, or people can manipulate it for pleasure, feeling, you know, get good sensations. And you can have the chalice, and in the chalice you can have energies going up, you can have energies going down, you can have energies going back and forth, and we manipulate these energies to suit ourselves a lot of the time. We might want, well, we want the energies going down through this circuit, and that suits a certain behavior. Might want the energies going down one, up the other. And you can play with the different qualities of male and female sexuality. You know, the left-hand side of the chalice, or my left-hand side of the chalice, may be more female. The right-hand side of the chalice may be more male, and you can move the energies back or forwards, or prefer one side to the other, and that will affect you. Or you can be traumatized in a way. Oh, I'm going to be on this side of the chalice from now on. I'm not going there. It's really bad news. So all sorts of things can happen to this chalice. Now, we are working with this chalice in relationship to nature. We're working with this chalice in relationship to the chalice at Checkers, which is this shape. So we've got whatever our imprint is on that chalice, and whatever way those energies move. For some people, they're moving up. From some people, they're moving down. From some people, they're off to the left. For some people, they're off to the right. Some people, it's doing this, and for other people, it's doing that. There's a whole assortment of the ways the energies can move within the chalice and ground and reach to the higher energies. There's a whole variety of ways, and people can prefer one shape to another. That affects their health, their personality, and who they perceive themselves to be, and receiving this initial energy that comes to the kidneys. Being with this initial sexual energy in the penis vagina, those images, those shapes affect those energies. So if we are sitting in this same shaped chalice at Checkers, and again, you can look at the picture. I'll put a picture kind of on the front bit where you first view this video, so people can see that. But if you click on my link below and go to my website, you can see the pictures of this chalice, and also how it relates to the picture of Pluto, the sign of Pluto, image of Pluto. So if you see, there's 7 circles in that image that checkers will be working, and we won't. Now, if you're facing north at the south side of one of those circles, then because the chalice is facing north, then your right hand kidney will be relating up to Coombe Hill on one side. Your left hand kidney will be relating up to Beacon Hill on the other side, and your energy will be rising because the hills are going towards the higher energies, and then be rising through that chalice in you, through the penis, vagina, through the bladder, up through the kidneys, up through the adrenals, at the same time as you're viewing it around you. Then you turn around. Now, in that same circle, I'm thinking more of the bladder, which is a central place in that chalice where it's the middle of the cup of the chalice. You turn around, suddenly you're facing downwards. You're facing down the stem of the chalice, which is the penis, vagina. And the energies are moving down. So the energies are changed from going up to going down, and when they change in that point in between, you get kundalini release through the spine whenever it comes to midpoint. And also, as you change, before, your right hand kidney was relating to Coombe Hill on the right. Now you turn round, your right hand kidney is relating to Beacon Hill, which is on the left. So the energies between the kidneys and adrenals swap over. And each time they swap, as soon as they come to the midline, you get a release of energy through the spine. So these patterns that we're holding in this chalice of up, down, side to side, preference to one side, preference to the other side, preference to the way it runs. Each time you visualize the chalice, one, it gives you a natural imprint, and you can work with the energies that are lacking or too strong or one side or that. And also, every time you turn, they swap. And that breaks up or releases those internal directions that you have. And you start getting a more full way of being with all of these energies. And it's mind-blowing. It really is. Every time it goes through the spine, releases the length of the spine, but from the kidneys and adrenals, each time it's going through the same bit of spine. And for me, that's kind of had some injuries to it. And each time it goes through, they're loosening, they're lengthening, really deeply, deeply healing in this very initial circuit to do with our health and sexuality. So this is a fantastic webinar to do. It really is. Come to this webinar. You will enjoy it. Click on the link in the description below. And how this relates to the Saturn Pluto thing is these are old, slow moving structures, the same as these imprints we've had in ourselves. And for the last 3 years, these have been pressing up against each other with Saturn Pluto slowly grinding through, and we're really pulling in our face, our structures here. And it seems like there is no resolution. And if you try to get a resolution, it's not going to work because it's long time. You're just in it. You just gotta enjoy being in it until it makes its resolution. And Sunday, remember Sunday, I think it's coming up 5 o'clock UK time. Then That is that point in the last 40 years where that resolves. So meditate through that time. Come with us on the webinar, 10:30 to 1:30. Work with that blue energy circuit. That is the depiction of the symbol for the sign for Pluto. And then you can meditate for a while up to the conjunction. You've got time to be with that and then just be in that energy through the conjunction on Sunday. I dare you. I dare you to come along and then get a really powerful experience of that energy, of that circuit, of our initial energies, and be in that release of those old structures. And once we move through the conjunction, you're then moving these structures and this pressure building up, very prevalent over the last 3 years. Then we come through that. Now, it doesn't instantly finish for a good year. That is working its way through, but it's really important to be there to change from pressure to release. So these structures, these karmas have been building up in us for quite a while. And then after they're really working the same out. So this is a good time to meditate. This is a good time to understand these structures. This is a good time to resolve long-standing karmic issues. It's a good time not to be rushing around madly doing stuff. It's good. It's on a Sunday. You can sit down. You can relax. You can be with yourself. You can set it up in advance. Enjoy this one. Let it work. Let it heal you. So there's free videos to learn holographic breathing. They're on my website. Go to my website. There are webinars to learn holographic breathing. We got this webinar this Sunday. I'll teach holographic breathing. I'll teach you how to work with the energies at Checkers. I'll teach you about the chalices there. We will work with them there and in ourselves. Fantastic way, without even having to think about it, to release all the energies through that blue energy chalice, which reverberate through the whole body. We'll also be working with the third eye, how to release the third eye, which is also part of the blue energy. So it's a lot to do in this circuit to do with the blue diamond of the penis vagina, actually there, the kidneys and adrenals and more to the side, and then comes up. These lines people draw up top of the head here. Right there, whoa, it'll all come together. When we work with the organs and then the different chakra points to them, and there's a very big one. I'll be teaching people how to open and resolve that circuit, because to properly resolve it, it's got to have a connection to the higher self, and it can be building and working, but until boom and up. Then there's a release. The karma can then go home. It's very hard just keep resolving it in the body. You've got to allow it, that shape, that energy, to connect with its mirror in the higher self and the subtle realm. So I'll be teaching how to do that, how this energy chalice, how this blue energy chalice connects to the blue energy chalice in the higher realms and in the earth. So these structures that have been in us, how they can release and how they can balance with the higher self. So everyone come along, enjoy, learn holographic breathing. Go and do some of the free learn holographic breathing videos. All right, I think I have talked for just about long enough. Really enjoy your day, enjoy Sunday, and I'm on my way off now. So thank you for listening. Please listen to more. Please subscribe, press the bell button. I've got a free learn holographic breathing group on Facebook. You can do all of that stuff. And we're also, the Saturday after, we're going to be working with the same thing, but actually at Checkers. We're going to go to Checkers on Beacon Hill, beautiful hill, and we're going to be working with that centre at the front of Beacon Hill that drops down to the church. So come along, join us then. It's all on my website. All right. And that bit, there's a page where you can look at all the pictures. Checkers, I'll put the link below as well. All right. You enjoy. And I'll press the thing. Let's see if it works.